Ibariki, Africa, Ibariki, Africa. Stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. For us the river, and you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my wheels.
Salama family.
Salama.
Sorry about that.
All righty.
Y'all know what it is. This is why we haven't done a live in a long time, because the internet over here on the continent be tripping. But
big time.
Look, it might cut out a couple times, but we'll keep coming back in. How y'all been? Isha G, how you been?
I'm good now. Like, it's been kind of a tough about 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah.
Y'all know that well, first of all, we want to see most of the sub-Saharan African countries, right? So we're in Botswana right now.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, we are currently not in Tanzania. Our NGO is still there in Tanzania, but we're just checking out some other countries right now.
Yes. So it has been cold, as y'all saw if you saw the short that my husband posted. It's been cold here in Botswana. Not only cold, it's very dry here. So
yes,
where I was born and raised, it's humid, 365, right? And then y'all know in TZ, it's humid,
right,
365, and it's hot. Both places where I'm from and my husband, he's like I don't want to call you an honorary Floridian anymore.
Yeah,
we don't live over there,
right?
But and so coming here, it's been cold and dry and like just been down with like cold.
Right, because first of all, y'all know what it is. In America, they tell us all the time it's just hot in Africa. Hot.
No.
But where we are right now in Botswana, we're in the capital city right now, Gaborone.
Yes.
And the other night, it got down, I think when I woke up like 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was like around, it said 27?
No, that was around 6. I think
6
okay.
In the morning. Yeah, 6 in the morning. It said 27, but it felt 22.
Yeah.
So y'all know freezing is 32. So yeah. It's getting cold here, which was amazing to me because it just more lies that they've told us, But real quick, I just want to give a shout out: Robert Jordan, Jennifer Smith,
Salama, yeah.
Karibu Bantu Lisa. That's the family over there in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, I just got over all of that. Didn't understand what was going on. I had to do some research. I didn't know how dry air affects you. So
yeah,
my body is adjusting. But hallelujah,
yes.
feeling better.
Yes. She got her tea.
Got my tea.
Right now because it's cold tonight too. It's about 34, 35 tonight, and it's going to get colder as the night goes on.
Yes.
So as you guys saw, we've been wanting to get on here, but like Isha G said, she was down and out, and I wanted to make sure she was good to go before we hop back on here. Let's talk about the state of the world. Man, there is so much going on, and I know a lot of channels have touched on a lot of these things, but we just want to give you our perspective on it,
Sawa.
Yes. Jennifer Smith in South Africa is very cold too. Yeah, because we're literally where we are. I think they say we're about how many kilometers from?
I'm not sure, but I think from where we are right now, we're about an hour away from the border
of South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I say the state of the world, what I'm talking about is just, man, here on the continent, it's like we're getting a whole different news than what's being given to our family members back in the US, because I've talked to my son, I've talked to my mom, and I was just telling them like, hey, we're hearing some concerning things, and I just want y'all to be paying attention. We want to just give them some information, like if something happens, how to get a hold of us.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, because something might happen. They might have to evacuate people out of there. We just wanted them to know where we are, how to get to us, what to tell the people if they ask, do you have family anywhere else?
Yeah. And
it was kind of rough for me because I was talking to my son, and it's very hard right now with hearing about everything going on. I'm excited. Me and Isha G got a granddaughter on the way.
Next month.
Yeah, next month. Our granddaughter, she'll be here.
So it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
This is the first girl. We have 3 little grandsons, and this will be our first granddaughter.
Yes.
And it can be very difficult at times here, not being able to physically see them and hold them. But let you get back to your story.
Yeah, but in talking to my son, and he's like, Dad, don't believe everything you hear. And I'm like, well, what are they telling you? He's like, oh man, we watching the finals. I know the finals are over, but at the time that we had the conversation, he was like, we're watching the finals. He's talking about the Kendrick and what's the boy named Drake beef, and I'm like, bro, we don't talk about none of that stuff over here. We talking about moves that Iran, Russia, and China are making around the U.S. That's things that they're actually talking about here on the continent. African countries are curious as to where they're going to stand in this, and so the people here on the continent, they know about all these things. But as I talk to my son, I talk to my mom, they're like, oh no, ain't nothing going to happen. And I'm like, now listen, let me just tell y'all this. I was in the Air Force. I come from a military family. We all proudly served, thinking it was the right thing to do. Started with my grandfather, all my uncles, a lot of my cousins, and while I was in the military, we had that mindset that, we're the U.S. military. Nobody can harm us. But when you start doing some research and start finding out some things that the U.S. military, it's been I don't think they've ever really fought someone with the capabilities of Russia and China, and this is words coming from actual generals, saying these things. So this isn't just some hearsay. This is generals in the military saying these things. But, we have this mindset in the U.S. that we're untouchable. But we have to remember, this is the Most High's hand that's about to go down here. And it doesn't matter how powerful you are or think you are. When the Most High is against you, you ain't going to win.
Right.
And I tell our family all the time, look, y'all ain't got to come to Africa. You don't want to come to Africa, cool. Africa ain't for everybody, but you need to have an exit plan, And so just listening to all these things going on, still a bunch of mass shootings and stuff going on over there. There's just a lot of craziness going on in the US and then even around the world, things that could trigger, WW3, but I look at family members over in the US and everybody just going along like it's all peaches and cream.
It's really weird. It's really, really weird because honestly, like we hear things, but you can really miss things here being on the continent because it's not on your doorstep, but it's weird hearing family members, even my family members, they're like, yeah, we ain't heard nothing about that. I'm like, really? Oh, okay. But it's just strange that quite a few people and even others that we talk to, their family members, they're kind of oblivious and to what's going on. And the ones that do know the things that's going on, they're not bothered by it. I'm like, this is very interesting. So it's definitely concerning. We're praying for everybody that's over there, all of our people. We're all waiting for the Most High's hand to do what he's going to do because we know that this time when he brings our people out from captivity, that it says that they're not going to even talk about, the first time he brought our people out of Egypt. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Don't know how it's going to happen. Don't know when, but we're praying for our family members, our friends over there, and just our people in general, for his hedge of protection, for the ones who are still asleep, for their eyes to be open, for them to have the desire to even know.
Yeah. I mean, I wish everybody would just take a moment. Just take a moment. I'm talking about all of our loved ones and just hear what we're saying to them. That, listen, the Bible is true. Everything the Most High said was going to happen was going to happen. Let's get into it. Let's talk about these crazy storms that's been happening. What we had, we got some family that's in Texas. They were, they've had tornadoes in Texas. Houston had a tornado. What else? They just got hit with the hurricane. It's been crazy weather all over the place in the United States.
So y'all, our son, if y'all have heard us mention before, our son, he lives in Vegas.
Yes.
And so he sent us a picture the other day of a melted traffic light. And I'm like, oh my God.
120 degrees. It was a new record there in Las Vegas. And he sent us a picture of a melted traffic light.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's just crazy, everything that's happening. But yeah, I mean, we know it's the hand of the Most High, but it's just really crazy. So that's why it's still shocking that at the stage we're in, at the stage the U.S. is in, with all these things happening, that there are still people who are oblivious to what's going on, and that, hey, these are the signs from the Most High. Prepare, prepare your house, prepare yourself.
Right. Like, what's everybody going to do over there? Now listen, I'm not dumb. I know that when stuff goes down completely over there, it's going to affect the rest of the world because everything right now is based off the US dollar, but as you look at things, Saudi Arabia has made it official. They are not re-signing their next oil contract with the United States. They are signing with China. That means you're going to be buying oil in yuan. So what do you think is going to happen to the US dollar? The way the US dollar controlled everything was by them controlling the gas prices. They will no longer be controlling the gas prices. China will. So that's going to be a big deficit to the US dollar. Also, a lot of countries are joining BRICS now. BRICS is going to be using, I believe, the yuan. So another hit to the US dollar. And so as these things happen, things are going to become inflated in the US, and it's all hell going to break loose, just keeping it real, and as these things are happening, we talk to people that are like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy a house in a year. I'm going to go do this. The family's going to go do this. And I'm like, do you know that there's, Russian submarines and Chinese submarines, and there are Chinese Navy frigates out in the water, and they're like, no, we're not hearing anything about that. I'm like, why are we hearing about it in Africa?
It's interesting. And I mean, at the same time, you know, we're thankful. We're here on the continent. We are very thankful. But like my husband said, you know, the continent is not going to be like unaffected by everything that happens. But I do believe that
that's true. They losing their minds right now.
I do believe that the continent will be much better off than the U.S. and a lot of the other places, European nations. I do believe that it'll be much better off. I keep saying to people here, I'm like, the saving grace for Africa, other than the Most High, is the ground here.
Yeah, there's so many minerals here. That's why they haven't done a full-on attack here.
Look, you kill the ground in Africa, you kill the world. So right. It just can't happen. So, you know, that's like kind of like the saving grace besides the hand of the Most High for the continent here. Yeah, the people know that the ground is their livelihood. So
look, it's like Moses' moment at the burning bush. Like, look, y'all take y'all shoes off, but it's holy ground over here. Y'all can't be dropping no bombs over there.
Right. And then now the news, like, you know, people call me conspiracy theorists or whatever. I believed in Nephilim and all kind of strange things for years now. And so it's very interesting with videos that we have watched with, you know, Harvard coming out with their paper saying that these things are actually walking amongst us now. Sorry about that, y'all.
We're back
for the second time. But I was back to what I'm saying. I'm a person that I see things. So I've seen things before that I knew, like, okay, this is like some supernatural type things. So it's interesting that now they're saying that these things are actually walking amongst us, you know. And I think a lot of us kind of got the clue. You know, when people started posting videos of celebrities freezing and all kind of freaky stuff that was going on, looking like they got fake skin and all kind of stuff like that. But it's just interesting now that these are the times that we're in. And we know that it's just going to get worse. Can't imagine how it's going to be. And I completely understand why the Bible says people are going to just die. Their heart just going to stop from the stuff that they're going to be seeing, because I can't imagine seeing these things in big numbers. You know, I don't want to imagine. I'm praying Most High just hide me. You know, I don't want to see it. I don't know if I will or I won't. I'm just being honest. I don't want to see it.
So if you guys caught the video Tayu did a few weeks back, and they were talking about the pictures of the different mountains that look like they got faces and full bodies, and they look like petrified giants. So where we are currently in Gaborone, when we're going in towards town, There's a mountain, and this thing, our
No
sister that's
lie.
with us, she showed it, she pointed it out. It looks like
It's
a full face.
It's a giant face, a full face laying on his back.
Yeah,
And
you can see the nose, you see the forehead, you can see where
the mouth,
the eye will go in.
And
It's
I'm
crazy.
like, oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
And so I just, like I said, I can't imagine not being hidden with all of this stuff going on. That's just me. I know it's going to get worse. And see, I know a lot of people are afraid to really dig into the book of Revelation, but it's one of my favorite books in the Bible. Just because it's like, I just can't believe all this stuff is going to be happening
in our lifetime.
So, it's interesting, right? And I just don't know what people are going to do, because a lot of people don't believe in these things. But now you actually have the general public coming out saying that this stuff is real. You got them saying UFOs are real. And so I'm like, okay, if they're saying UFOs are real, these things are walking amongst us now. They actually got these realistic creatures walking around on subways and stuff. I'm like, they're literally preparing the world to accept these things and saying, hey, here's our God. So
yeah, like I said, as in the days of Noah, these things were walking around in the days of Noah. You know what I'm saying? So we should not be surprised when they start coming again. If you believe the Bible,
yeah,
let me say it like that. If you believe the Bible, we're going to see these things walking around again.
Yes.
You know, that's the only way it can be, as in the days of Noah, because we have to look at what was happening in the days of Noah.
Yeah. So I am, like I said, I'm happy to be where I am, because, you know, the thing about here on the continent, when you tell them about these things and creatures and all kind of things like that, it's like I'm like taken back by their response.
Yeah.
Because they're unmoved by it. They're like, yeah, we know those things exist. They're like, we have places here where you can't go. And I'm like, yeah. What? Now, this is not just Tanzania, but we've talked to people here in Botswana as well. And it's the same thing. They're like, yeah, we know these things. There are creatures that exist and you can't go in certain places.
Right.
But here we were in the U.S. oblivious that things like that existed and was walking around. But they know here on the continent that these things are here.
Right. So I want y'all to think about that. Just imagine, you know, here you are, you just talking to people like, hey, you know, tell me about the culture. Tell me about the traditions here. And it's just a normal conversation to them. Yeah, you know, there's some places, you know, in some of the villages. Now, I'm not going to front. They do have witchcraft here on the continent. All right. But guess what? They got witchcraft everywhere. All right. We act like people act like they don't want to talk about it. We got witchcraft in the US. So don't be shocked.
Some of the strongest witchcraft is in the US.
Yes. You know, but you know, and they start telling you these stories. Yeah, you know, in this part of the village, you know, at nighttime, this little creature comes around, and this one, if you walk over in this area where these caves are, there's this part of this delta, there's this. And I'm just like, hey, can you write those down for me? Because I'm trying not to go there. Yeah, I'm not ready for that. You know, but I know I'm going to see them, but I'm just not going looking for them.
I'm not going to say I'm going to see them. I'm praying to be hidden.
I'd be like, you know, how we was as little kids when, you know, you be in your room scared at night and you put your covers over your head because you like, if they don't see me, I don't see it.
Yes. This right here, this is one of the things that I'm talking about. A lot of y'all saw that video of this lady on the plane, and then she retracted her statement and said, I wasn't saying that, but you can clearly see that this lady saw something.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't the only one I saw. I saw another one where it was several passengers on the plane screaming and everything, talking about it was the man or whatever wasn't human. So, you know, this is just the time that we're living in, and it's just going to progress.
Yes.
And so, you know, our people need to be vigilant. I know
praying hard, fasting,
because these things are taking on our form, but they're not us. And so you have to be careful who you're entertaining, because you're entertaining angels and other beings now. If you're not careful. So it's like you just really have to be discerning right now.
And really quickly, before somebody tries to jump in the comments of this video and say, oh, they're misusing scripture, we're not. We're just saying you can entertain two types of angels, okay? You can entertain a fallen angel and you can entertain a holy angel.
You just have to be careful because, like I said, if they're saying these things are walking around and we clearly see celebrities, there's something wrong with a lot of them. Like, you have to be careful because you don't know if you're not discerning what you're talking to. I ain't gonna say who, but what you're talking to.
Exactly.
So it's the time that we're living in. It's no time to be afraid or pretend that it doesn't exist. It does exist, and you just have to be discerning. If you don't have a good, spirit of discernment, then be praying for
it. Yeah. Our sister Bantu Lisa, she says right here, she was traveling from Denver to Istanbul. One of the passengers looked inhuman, so she stayed calm and she watched while his face changed.
Right.
This is becoming normal, y'all.
So I'm gonna tell you something that happened to my husband and I. Now, this was when we were in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So we driving down the street trying to go get something to eat from.
I forget where we was going to get something. No, I think
we ended up going to McDonald's, but we were trying to go somewhere else, but they were closed or something. So we driving down the road.
Y'all don't beat us up. We don't eat the McDonald's no more because ain't no McDonald's over here.
No.
We stopped eating it when we was back there. So don't get on us, y'all.
We
don't
was
get on
doing
us.
some late night. But anyway, so we're driving and we pass a bus stop that's right in front of Motel 6.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were talking first. And so once we passed it, I just got quiet.
It was going over the overpass of the 75.
Right under.
But before the Motel 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just get quiet and I ain't say nothing. And so
and I got quiet. And so I look at her and I go, did you just see what I just saw?
And I'm like, you saw that too? So y'all have seen Batman before.
The one with Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
The Penguin.
Right.
We see this big thing look like a big old blob. And it has a head and it's just the shape like the penguin, but it has no face. And it's standing up at the bus stop.
Looking directly at us. And we looking at it. And it's looking at us.
And I literally thought that, I'm like, I ain't going to say nothing because I don't want to tell my husband what I just saw. And he going to be like, nah, maybe you ain't see that. But then he said something. He saw it too. The thing did not have a face. It was a head, no eyes, no nose, no mouth. There was nothing pulled over its face.
No.
As a matter of fact, it had wrinkles here.
Right. It was crazy. It was crazy.
So, and that was about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We saw that.
Yeah.
And we've seen other things, but we have friends who have told us they're starting to see this condition that they're saying that people have or whatever is not a condition. These people are seeing these deities. We have a friend who have seen them and they were talking to me and, because I've seen things on people.
Yeah,
and
they wanted to put our friend in a crazy house.
Right.
Because of what he saw.
Right. But he's seeing deities on people's faces. And he's saying a lot of these people who he saw them on were his friends. He thought they were his friends.
Israelites.
So, it's just it's a lot going on in the world. So you just have to really have a spirit of discernment to know who you're dealing with at this time, because we're not playing. A lot of people is just think about AI and different things like that. This battle is not us fighting against just computers or people, and we're fighting against.
We wrestle not with flesh and blood.
Yeah, these things are back.
Yeah,
and that's what we're up against.
Now, I believe they've been here for a long time, but they are making themselves more known because the governments that be. And I'm not talking about just the U.S. government. I'm talking about the government that be those who really behind the scenes pushing all the buttons. They're about to release these things on the world in full frontal to where it's almost like where people are worshiping them.
again.
Yeah.
Remember, there were their gods before, you know? So it's just what the scripture has said. We're living in that time now. And it's hard to believe that it's us, because I'm gonna be honest, I literally used to hear my parents talking about things like this when I was a little girl. And I was like, you know what? That's gonna be in probably like my great grandchildren's day. It's hard to believe that this stuff is happening now. And so that's why I say, for me, my prayer is, Most High, just hide me so I don't have to see this stuff.
Yeah.
Just hide me so I don't have to.
Hide all of us under your wings.
I honestly wanted to get to the point where I don't even hear it. I'm just hidden, eating my food that I grew.
Yeah, I mean, that's why the word says my people perish for the lack of knowledge, because a lot of this stuff is just people don't want to look into it. People are enjoying an oblivious life. You know, it's kind of like a person standing behind you with a gun. And as long as you don't turn around, then you don't have to think about the fact that someone's there trying to rob me or take my life. And it's easy because, you know, things in the U.S. are all we know. That's how most of us have grown up. That's all we know. You know, a lot of us are coming out and coming over to Africa, our first time leaving America, you know, and we're so used to how things are there. A lot of us are afraid to walk away from those things because of the lies that we've been told about the continent. You know, it's like, oh, they ain't gonna have cars. They're not gonna have this.
I just got asked that not too long ago about the cars, and I'm like, here we go again.
And no. Here was the funny part. It was a family member that watches our videos. Okay.
They probably don't watch them. That's probably why they don't.
No. Because look, it was my wife's dad. Okay, I'm gonna put your daddy out there. All right. He watched our videos at least once. I'll give it at least once. I know he has, because he had told us, yeah, I saw the picture of the monkeys at your office. So that, you know, when we had our old intro, there was cars, cars driving and everything. So he knows that there was cars here. But that's the mindset that our people have. Well, I ain't going to Africa. You know, they ain't got nothing over there. There's no cars. There's no power. People walk around half naked. They living in huts. Animals running around. I'm gonna get eaten by a lion. Really?
Yeah. You know, so y'all, I don't have much more to say. Maybe one day we'll talk about the experiences that different people have had, encounters that people have had, because I've had some doozies. And I'll just say that, but I would love to hear other encounters that people have had, supernatural.
We're back
For the third time. So,
oh, man.
Yes. So I was saying maybe one day we can exchange stories of encounters that we all have had, supernatural, spiritual encounters, because We have seen some things that we should not have seen. Well, we feel like we shouldn't have seen. This shouldn't have existed.
Right.
Okay.
Even we've had a young lady that worked with us that works for us in TZ. Tell them about what she said to you about when she was like, Shingazi, do you believe in demons?
Oh my goodness. That's a long story. But yeah, a young lady asked me if I believe that witches existed. Just one day we're eating breakfast and she just asked me this question. I'm looking at her strange, like, why you ask me that? And so, anyways, I don't know where you want me to go with that.
No, about what she saw about the face of the bull.
Oh,
yeah.
She had like an encounter when we were in TZ and seeing this deity. It was actually, when she described it, it was an Indian god. So it was a cow, and she just saw the lady with the arms and different things like that. And I was explaining to her what she saw. So yeah, people like that. I've seen portals.
Yeah.
I know people will say she lying, those don't exist. I tell you no lie.
We done seen some things.
I've seen things that are very scary.
Portals with people on the other side looking at you.
Things very scary to where sometimes at night I have been afraid to go to sleep because I don't know what I'm going to see. And you know, the Most High is good. I don't feel afraid now, but there have been times where I have felt afraid because of seeing things kind of back to back. It's like, oh Lord, I don't want to, see something that's not normal tonight.
Especially when everybody's telling you these things don't exist.
And I'm not talking about dreams.
Nah.
I'm not talking about dreams.
This is wide awake.
Wide awake, looking at stuff. So one day, hopefully, like I say, we can share some stories of things that we have seen, not just us. I mean, different ones, you all, because I know we're not the only ones that have had these encounters with supernatural beings. We're not the only ones who have seen things that what we don't think exists actually exists, like a portal. Like, who knew, right?
I mean, that's the state of the world right now, y'all. That's why we're talking about this stuff. This is things that's going on, and people are oblivious to it, and they're pretty much putting their fingers in their ears, going nah, 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 because they don't want to hear it, they don't want to believe it, they don't want to think that these things are happening. The Most High will protect us, yes, but it doesn't mean He's going to blind us to the things going on around us. We've got to be spiritually prepared, prayed up, fasting, looking out for each other, praying for each other, because look, it's about to hit the fan. It's been hitting the fan, but it's about to get big chunks. I know that sounds nasty, but I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it real with y'all.
So I'm gonna say this for the question that was asked: the cost of living. We're gonna do a show, but I'll just give you this tidbit. It is way, way, way more expensive in Botswana than TZ.
Yeah. But there is a big difference between the two places.
It's a big difference, but you're gonna pay the price for that. For that difference. I'm not gonna even lie, I will get to it when we do a show on that, but we will compare, the cost of living here compared to TZ, but it's way, way, way more affordable
in Tanzania. But there's more things here.
So we'll do that show, and both of those about the supernatural encounters and stuff. I just have to write down all the stuff so that I can remember. But that'll be, I don't know when. I know that we haven't been doing a lot of shows, and then even for me, I just had to take a step back also and just just direct my focus more on the Most High with the time that we're living in. So do some shows. It's probably going to be more my husband doing a lot more shows than myself, just because of directions from the Most High for me. So, but
I begged her to jump on here with me tonight.
I will be on for those shows about the supernatural encounters, the cost of living, maybe. but if not, both of us, my husband will do one for that.
Yes.
So y'all be vigilant out there and stay prayed up. Pray for discernment. If you know that you don't really have discernment, pray for discernment.
That's true.
What?
It is still cheaper than the.
It is. It is so much cheaper than the U.S. But
just comparing the two.
Yeah. Just be discerning. Pray for discernment. Remember, the Bible says to get wisdom and understanding. If you don't do nothing else, get you some wisdom and understanding. You'll be all right. So, I don't have much else to say.
Yeah. So, what I'm going to end with is, family, we love y'all. You know, Isha G and myself, and you know the people that are here with us on the continent. You know, we are consistently, fervently, always praying for you guys. You know, like Isha said, we're not always on here. And I know, hey, we're YouTubers. We should be on here a lot more often. But to be honest with you, there's so much going on in the world. And we're just trying to dedicate more of our time to praying for our loved ones and everybody and you guys that's still over there in Babylon, that, you know, the Most High will make a way for you guys to be protected as these things are going on, and to get you out of there when you get that phone call from him to get up out of there. You know, and I mean, it's great to be a YouTuber and everything and do these shows, but your guys' safety and protection is way more important to us than, you know, putting a video up, you know, because I feel like I can do more for you by praying for you and just talking to the Most High, standing in the gap. You know, he said to love you as you were my real brother. You know, do unto others as you want undone to yourself. Now, you know, I want you guys praying for me and Isha G, because it's not easy being over here. You know, like we said at the beginning of the show, we got grandchildren back in the U.S. that we haven't seen going on for almost 4 years now. You know, and so it's hard being over here. You know, my wife's family's still there, my family's still there, and you know, we haven't seen them. We talk to them, you know, via WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, stuff like that, but we cannot physically touch them, you know, and so, but we know that the Most High told us to come over here and do this, and we got to love him more than we love everybody else, because we love everybody else. And so, you know, we just want to tell you guys, please keep your head up. The Most High has not forgotten any of you. He's got your back. He's always had your back. You know, remember, we're the ones that walked away from him, and he's just standing there waiting for us to turn back to him, to call out to him, and to just lean not into our own understanding and trust in him in all of our ways, you know? And so remember, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank you, everybody that joined us live. Y'all do me a favor. Please leave a like on the video. Share it with your family. Share it with coworkers, everybody. You know, if you are not a Patreon member, please become a Patreon member. I will be putting out more videos, but, you know, will not be probably like every couple of days. Won't be like that. And we'll work on getting those shows together for you guys. You know, also, you guys have some questions you want to reach out to us, please. If you see it right there at the bottom of the screen, Stepping Stones, the #2 home at gmail.com. You can reach out to us. Also, if you'd like to be a blessing to us, you can do Cash App, Stepping Stones, the #2 home. That's our Cash App. Also, if you would like to support, you know, just share the video. Yeah. That's the most important thing. So before we jump off of here, if you guys got any questions real quick, you know, put it in the chat. And we'll answer a couple questions before we get off of here. Did you have anything you wanted to say while people have a chance to put a couple of things in?
I just say this. We don't know how the Most High's hand is, but if WW3 makes it to the shore while our people are still there, remember, this is not your fight. Don't put up a fight, because it's not for you to put up a fight. You can't fight against what the Most High is doing. As my husband stated earlier, I actually had a dream about that, where it was going down and I was at gunpoint. And in the dream, it's like the Ruach took over me, and I grabbed the hand of this soldier and I began to prophesy and say, you were called for a time as this, and prophesying over him and all the people that was with them. And they put their little guns down and they left. And so I would say, y'all, if it does come down to that, don't fight, because it's not our fight. You know, the Most High, if it does come down to that, remember, he has a plan. He has a plan for you. He has a plan for our people. And so we don't have to fight.
Right. You remember when the king was talking to Jeremiah, and he said, thus says the Lord. Jeremiah told him that the Lord was saying that if they go into captivity, understand what I'm saying? Let me finish. He told them if they go into captivity, they'd be all right. But if they went against what the Most High was saying, then they would be destroyed. And, you know, Nebuchadnezzar came in, did what he did, put the eyes of the king out after he killed the king's sons. Now, what I'm saying is this situation is about to happen in America. It is ordained by the Most High. It has to happen. You know, so you see some troops that's wearing a different flag that's out in the street. Don't go out there trying to be, you know, Mr. Save 'em. You know, that ain't your fight. It ain't your fight. They coming to get you up out of there. You know, the Americans brought this on themselves. You know, he would have saved Babylon.
But she wouldn't be saved.
But she wouldn't be saved. You know, so we know who we are. You know who you belong to. And you know that this is what he said he would do to Babylon. So let it happen.
So there are no more questions. I think we got everything in the comments.
Yeah.
Sister Jennifer, send us an email. And we can have your email and we can talk.
Yeah. I'm going to put the email in the chat that you can send it to.
Yeah, somebody said X marked the spot during the eclipse, right? If anything was a sign, X should have been the sign. So, yes, everybody. So that's the email for you, Sister Jennifer, or anybody else that wants to email us about anything. We're here. We'll respond to your emails. And that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got. So that was all the questions I see. So family, again, shalom. We love y'all. We appreciate you. All that y'all do, all your support, all your prayers. It means a lot to us. So family, y'all keep your head up. And look, till we see each other soon. That's what I like to say. Till we see each other soon. Shalom, family.
Salama.